Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Doy's back again with another video. This is another day in my life building my business up to $2 million for the year. In this video, we'll talk mostly about the bottlenecks that we're currently facing with the jewelry store. Route check, and then I'll let you guys go about your day. I don't want to talk about way too much things today, but let's get into the current bottleneck that we are facing with the jewelry store. So the main bottleneck that we're facing right now with the jewelry store is our creatives and our basically front-end revenue. We're kind of struggling to acquire customers at scale right now. And I wrote down a couple of things on here. Honestly, I wanted to write them down because I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, I might forget them. Not even might. I would have honestly forgot them because there's a lot of things to kind of go over, which are kind of a lot of things kind of mixed in one. So let me just straight up get into it right now to kind of give you a little bit of clarity of what I'm kind of talking about. And for context, January we did 50K. Let me start off from December. Yeah, from December we did 196K, which obviously is Q4, so it's nothing crazy. So it's not like, you know, we're doing it in a evergreen season, but nevertheless we did that amount. And then after that, in January we did 50K, which is not too bad, honestly. And then from there it was essentially downhill. Now, kind of what I want to talk about here is understanding that this specific product that we're selling is in a market that's in stage 4, basically. So that means this is a market that people have already kind of seen the product before. And usually in like a stage 4 market, if somebody has consistently seen the product over and over again, you kind of have to sell the person on the mechanism of the product. So that means like why this product is actually different than other solutions, or, you know, for the most part, also sometimes products that they've already, the same product that they've seen prior. You basically have to, you know, try to sell them again on that unique mechanism on why this product is different. Now, last week, I'll tell you guys how our product had a unique mechanism. And again, I low-key thought we did in a way, but I did some research today. Well, more research, honestly, and I came to the conclusion, this is gonna all make sense, so just stick to the end. But this, essentially, I realized that, to be honest, this mechanism that we had isn't necessarily that unique, right? And in understanding that, which I got help from ChatGPT, it explained to me that we are essentially in a crowded and overexposed market where everyone knows this product. You know, our mechanism isn't necessarily like something that's very special in the market, and that's not going to be the only thing that's going to help us to sell the product. Now, the question here that I asked myself was, okay, or ChatGPT helped me even come up with as well, is why is our product different? Why would someone want to buy it right now? And why is it quote unquote different? And, you know, I thought to myself before I even, you know, asked ChatGPT, I realized that, okay, the aspect that makes this product special, that nobody really markets it in an emotional manner. This emotional manner is something that has allowed us to, you know, scaled up previous in the past. But, you know, our current angles right now aren't hitting the way they should be. So, you know, I saw ChatGPT, whatever. It told me the answers, basically told me to reframe the product for, you know, but I won't get into too much of it to expose the product. But essentially, it explained to me that we essentially just have to go more on a emotional aspect of how we want to essentially, you know, sell our product. That's kind of the whole, you know, unique aspect that we're gonna have to do in terms of our marketing, which isn't a bad thing. Like, we can do it. We've done it in the past. We have one angle that we've been pushing that, you know, gets decent momentum, but can never be scaled hard enough. But I think though the issue there is the persona that we're targeting. We're targeting a persona that honestly isn't as big as it should be, because I got lazy a bit. I'm not gonna lie. We didn't send, we didn't get more UGC for this better persona, which I asked for the UGC creator to get some today. So hopefully we can get some by the end of the week and push this new persona for like the new evergreen angle. But essentially, I say all of this to tell you guys that we are a bit cooked, and we aren't able to find new angles to explain to you guys that when you kind of start selling a product and you start selling it year over year, there is going to be kind of roadblocks to this product. Like, this is a product that we've genuinely sold over $2 million worth of, inventory, or not inventory, but product worth for it. And it gets to a point where, one, we've sold this product a shit ton. Other people have sold this product a shit ton. And it gets to a point where we can't keep, relying on the same angles, basically the same offer, the same way we're selling the product to expect to always work. It's been damn near, I've been selling this product for 4 years now. Every year, obviously, we make some profit with it, but every year it's going to get, significantly harder to sell the product if you're not making changes. You're not looking to, think about how you can get, returning customers. Like, currently, we've mainly been focusing on our first-time customers, and we haven't really prioritized, new product drops. We really haven't. That's kind of like the main way that we are going to increase our AOV, not our AOV, sorry, our LTV, or just help us to retain profitability on seasons like this. Like, currently we are on a down period, but if we had a better returning rate, which for like jewelry products, honestly, could be upwards like 40%. We're currently probably at like 20, maybe 15. If it was higher, on a down period like this, even if our CTA was shit, we could low-key sustain, paying a bit more on Meta. But currently, right now, we can't. We can't afford to do that because we're relying solely on our first end, profits from our sales to bring our, customers into the door and to essentially fund the business. So it's like, in realizing that, I realized, we kind of fucked up there, for one. For two, we have to essentially kind of restructure the way the business is operating to, calculate for that. Because again, if you want to run a business for a long period of time, like, I don't know if this resonates to a lot of people that might have been running a business for a longer time. And if it doesn't, honestly, just listen to it, because it's going to save you a lot of headaches once you start getting things to perform at scale. But once again, you start running a product for a long period of time, it's going to get to a point where, again, you can't rely on just your front end profits to carry you, because people are going to get used to your offers, people are going to get used to seeing the product, and your ads are naturally going to not perform as well at scale, because you're going to have to target people that don't necessarily people that don't necessarily know your product that well. Because if you guys didn't know, the first time you launch a product, for the most part, Meta's trying to target the most warmest audiences as possible. And after that, once you scale it to the limits, or even just in general, it tries to broaden out as much as possible. But the longer you run that stuff, the more you're going to have to tap into colder audiences, and your conversion rate is going to drop a little bit. And you might, see a decrease in ROAS or whatever. And you kind of combat that by having a system where customers are always coming back month over month. Yeah, we have email flows and stuff. Yeah, we get people to come back. But it's not enough. We're getting people to only come back for the first hero product for the most part. And all the other products on the website aren't necessarily things that, that people push the needle, honestly, to get people to come back. Like, I know I was talking about creatives, and I'm going to get back to that in a bit. But that's kind of like a pillar that the business is missing. And that's kind of something that I'm going to work on today. Now, I kind of went on to a side tangent there, but let's get back to the creatives for things that are going to kind of make sense more to a lot of you guys. But currently, we've been testing around 5 creatives a day, like I've been telling you guys last week, which has been great, has given us a good opportunity to kind of see what's working, what's not working, because essentially we have now 30 creatives that I have in that ad account, or in that specific testing campaign right now. And there's a bunch that we killed, a bunch that has gotten spent, and we kind of can tell what creatives or angles are doing well now. Now, not the best, but we're able to tell, what's getting spent and what we need to put our focus towards. And again, like I was telling you guys, we have to make more emotional videos. Last week, I was kind of focusing more on like those other styles that I was telling you guys about, where it was mainly about the offers, which, while those did do good and they were targeting top of funnel at first, they quickly started to target bottom of funnel, which honestly I kind of predicted, but I was kind of shocked that it was targeting top of funnel. But now they are mostly honestly targeting bottom of funnel. So those are good ads to have on the ad account, but we need why do I have a voice crack? But we need them to perform, or rather we need other ads to perform top of funnel, so it can help our overall performance of the business. So that's why we're kind of pivoting again to going back to these emotional type of videos for the jewelry product, which we can do. And we are thinking and planning on doing right now. That's kind of what I did this morning. I was up at 6. I'm not gonna early as shit, but we essentially found, how do I want to put this? Actually, yeah, we essentially found, what's worked in our ad account in terms on an evergreen level. Like, we have two main angles. One of them, honestly, I think it's a bit played out, so I'm not trying to really focus on it too much. But I'm gonna keep doing it though for now because it's still generating some revenue, but I don't think it's gonna be the main revenue driver in the long term. But the second one, again, I've been saying this for a while now. We haven't necessarily been able to crack it, and that's what I was just referring to earlier. That we just need to switch to persona, and I think it might perform well. So again, today I hit up the UGC creator. I'm gonna see if we can source some by the end of the week, and hopefully we can get some good performance out of that. Because if we can, then I know we can scale further. And if we can scale further, honestly, I'm really going to be happy if we can scale that to honestly like around a 1.5 ROAS. Even if obviously we want it to be higher, but if we can get a scaling campaign to perform well at 1.5 ROAS, it's going to give us a good amount of room to scale the business forward. Because again, we're looking at stuff on a blended level. We have Google in the back end that helps us recover a lot of lost revenue. We also have emails that were recover a lot of lost revenue as well. So if we are able to have Facebook, Meta, or whatever perform at like a 1.5 ROAS, we'll be able to have like a 20-25% margin on a blended level, and that would be good amount of room to scale back up to 50k months, then get up to 6-figure per month. So that's kind of like what we're looking at to do right now. We talk about this honestly a lot, but currently right now we are in a down period. So again, we kind of have to go back to the basics, go back to what the original vision is for the business and what the overall plan is. That's kind of like something that always happens, or currently in my journey anyways. Like, we always have to go back to the overall vision, go back to the drawing board and understand what we're trying to achieve, understand how we are going to achieve it, and just map out a plan. That's kind of like something that I guess I should kind of focus on and talk about a bit more on here is, your business is going to have good periods, down periods. I've said this a lot, but in the down periods, that's kind of when you have to kind of regroup and rebuild the foundation of the business. And something that a lot of people don't talk about, some people do, but I haven't seen a lot of the bigger guys talk about, is once your business breaks, your business is going to break at scale, and you're going to have to rebuild it up. You're going to have to rebuild your customer service team. You're going to have to rebuild your creatives team. You're going to have to rebuild, the way you run your ads. You're going to have to rebuild a lot of different things that you are looking to do, or a lot of different systems rather, in your business at scale, because this old lady's retarded. I don't want to make fun of old people, but this girl literally, bro, I'm at the speed bump, and this old lady literally, what the fuck? Niggas are retarded, bro. Every nigga's trying to die in this bitch, bro. I'm literally chilling. I have the right of way. People are over here, and they think they have the right of way and they're trying to hit my shit, my nigga. What the fuck? Am I tweaking? Or niggas retarded? I don't even know what I was talking about. That genuinely pissed me off. But, fuck. I don't even know what I was talking about, bro. Fuck. My shit cheesed. But, what was I talking about? Fuck. I think I was talking about, fuck. I don't remember. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, let me park this car. Oh yeah, I was talking about rebuilding essentially the foundation of your business. Yeah, you're going to be in a position where, your business breaks, systems break, and you're going to have to rebuild it break by break, build back the foundations to be able to kind of, sustain your level of skill that you want to hit, and to get to a higher level. It's like think about it this way: you're going to get to 50K a month, then you're going to realize you're shit at creatives. Once you realize you're shit at creatives, you're going to build a better creative system. Once you build that creative system, you're going to realize, okay, maybe the product quality isn't that good. Then you're going to have to scale back down a bit and fix the product quality. And it's basically that, you know, ups and downs that you're going to be able to kind of understand what you need to fix in your business and what's going to allow you to scale further later down the line. For me personally, we were in a position where a lot of systems broke down, quickly, and now we are slowly rebuilding back the foundations in terms of, you know, our margins, because we were running a lower price point offer, which was killing our margins, honestly, killing them pretty drastically. Or we had to turn to increasing our products with increasing our price point, which meant our marketing had to be a bit better, honestly, and we were able to kind of get back momentum in Q4, right? We got momentum back in Q4. And then now in this down period, we have to kind of plan how we're going to manage to sustain this in a down period. And once we, solve that, then that means once we achieve that, then that means once we get to but let me rephrase that. Once we achieve that, then that means once Q4 hits, we are golden. We're going to scale up to the moon. So I don't know if that was a whole ramble. I don't know if any of this made sense. Honestly, I hope it did. But basically, the whole thesis of everything I was going to talk about is, or I was trying to kind of get inside of you guys' head, is that, again, there's going to be issues in the business. And your whole goal as an entrepreneur is to be a quote unquote problem solver. And you have to solve these problems that you're, you know, being faced with in your business. And currently, the problem that we're getting faced with is we aren't getting the right creators right now. And that can be, can be an offer issue as well. But for the most part, currently, the offer looks pretty enticing in terms of the metrics that I'm seeing inside the ad account. It's just we're not able to scale it the way we want to scale it. So we understand, okay, we can't scale it as hard as we want to. Fine, let's fix up the offer. Let's get a better creative system going. And let's see how we can have a better offer that can scale harder. And then once we can scale the front end harder, I promise you something else is going to break, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is a long-term business. That's kind of the whole difference between brand and dropshipping and running a business that's more of a pump and dump where you don't necessarily have systems in the back end. Like, yeah, right now we're in a downwards period, but it's in when you build up those systems year over year, where you build up that foundation. At that point, it's one of those ones where basically the playbook. Like every year, okay, just January's, a down period. Let's run this offer. Okay, Q4, so we're gonna run this offer. And every year you're just slowly building up, growing every year, growing your returning customers, and your business is slowly going up like this. Right now, currently the business is like month over month is like this. Year over year, it's still steadily going up. But nevertheless, we aren't necessarily running the business as a proper business because the returning customers aren't there. And that's kind of what's the backbone that should be helping you in sustaining your growth. That's kind of the biggest difference between a dropshipping business or a branded dropshipping business and a, you know, one that's like a pump and dump, because you don't have returning customers. You don't have, the systems in the back end to, for the most part, have good creative systems. You don't have good systems with customer service. You don't care about customers coming back. You just care about making profits on the first dollar. While that is good, you aren't going to be able to sustain your business in the long term. Like, imagine if this business I'm running right now, the first couple of years we ran this, like, we honestly, I'm not gonna lie, we barely had any issues with the business. For the most part, everything was, it's not that it was going right, but we didn't have any headaches. It's not, the longer you run the business, the more headaches you're gonna endure, because you've been running the business for longer. You understand what is kind of going on. But for most of these people, if you're running, again, the pump and up shipping stores, just nothing is wrong with that. It's good for cash flow, but it's just, it's better to build something, of more value once you acquire the skills that you need to build up these brands. Like, that's kind of the whole goal of the dropshipping stuff, is to get the idea of understanding how to build a brand. And once you understand how to build a brand, from really kind of marketing, blah, blah, creatives, then you have to, go in and try to build something that could potentially be sold. If it can't be sold, cool, but something that could consistently make 30K a day or some shit like that. You know what I mean? That's kind of the whole goal with what I'm trying to build right here. Anyways, once you do that, you start realizing, okay, if I'm always doing this pump and dump stores, I'm always going to be in a position where every like 3 months, I might not know when my new source of income is going to be coming. You know, well, obviously in brand dropshipping, you might be in seasons where your business is doing worse. You're steadily just trying to grow that foundation where even if your business is doing bad, you have the returning customers coming in to the point where you're able to sustain your cash flow and still be able to, make decisions and still have money coming in to the point where you're not, still struggling and saying, fuck, what am I going to do? That's the whole goal of it. The biggest difference again is the first time customers as well as having returning customers. Right now, we are a bit cooked because our returning customers is hella low. And that's why we are also, making that new product that I've been telling you guys. It's very, very I'm very excited for it. Hopefully, you guys made it to this end of my whole ramble, but you know, it's a product that's literally a proven concept because it's literally a upgraded version, a more premium version of another product that's literally been sold so many times, so many times. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm honestly down to show you guys this product. Probably once we start pushing this pretty heavy if it does well, because right now, at least nobody can touch the product because it's not even on the market right now. Obviously, Alice's probably gonna come and try to, steal the product and shit. To be honest, let me write that down to kind of tell the supplier to kind of make an agreement with them so that no one else is on the product. I think that's possible. I hope, or at least they can. So at least I'll see. Anybody can remake it, but I'm gonna try to make it so it's kind of unique to us. Hold on, let me write that shit down. But yeah, that's the kind of the whole goal. We're trying to start doing some product launches, and I think that's gonna really take us to the next level because let me write this down. Get support to but yeah, it's gonna take us to the next level because we are going to be able to always be able to kind of feed our old customers with similar products and get them to really come back to the business and purchase more with us, increasing our LTV and allowing us to also you know spend more money on the front end of the business. That's the whole goal of this stuff. Literally the whole goal. We are just trying to increase our profits. Year over year. We aren't necessarily looking day to day. Day to day is very shit currently. And if you look at that, you're gonna stress yourself out. So right now we're currently looking mostly, not even mostly, really on a weekly level, monthly level, and a yearly level. Mostly on a monthly level, though I don't really care on a weekly level. I talk about and tell you guys about what's going on a weekly level, but I understand that this is a brand that I'm trying to build. A big jewelry brand that's doing, you know, currently the goal is $2 million for the year. But obviously, we want to be able to be in a position where we can push this to, you know, 10 million a year. Sky's the limit with it, really. As long as we're able to add multiple SKUs, build the foundations with the business properly, we should be able to do it. And yeah, that's kind of the goal again. The whole idea of this video was just sparked from one realizing that we are in a down period. Understand that okay, this is a brand of business that we're trying to build, so the down periods are expected, and we just have to rebuild foundations and just build from here and just really build the business up to where it needs to be. We are also trying to by the way, increase our organic presence, like I've been telling you guys, and we are building on the system to essentially get affiliates to promote our product. We literally have 3 creators lined up to post. It's not that much, but we're really just testing the proof of concept to see how well it can do. If that can do well, we get decent amount of views, and from the amount of views, we're able to get good clips, obviously, for the clips aspect as well. Hopefully, get a few sales, and after that, we might just run their post as a Spark ad. And if those Spark ads do well, because that's a method that worked on TikTok, and I've seen people on Twitter mention that it works still on Meta, or whitelisted ads, I guess that's what y'all call it on Meta. And if we can do that, then we are going to be really golden, and we're going to have a strategy or a playbook that we are going to be able to implement for with any jewelry store, honestly, any business in general, to, make this shit absolutely print. So that's why, again, we are in a down period right now. I said this multiple times. I'm kind of telling myself again, we are in a down period as well right now. This is a branded store. We are trying to build a foundation for the long term. So, again, we are not stressed. We know what we're doing. We know what the goal is. We know what the plan is. We know the vision. It's just about executing. And trial and error is what it is. We're literally just testing concepts in terms of creatives, which will identify the right creatives that can push our scale, push the limits, make iterations, repeat, repeat, repeat. That's the goal here. And yeah, I hope this video made sense. I don't know if it did make sense. Sometimes on Mondays I can't lie. my brain be fried, like it'd be fried as hell. But I hope you guys really kind of get the whole picture of what I'm talking about on why it's better to run a branded store. And yeah, that's kind of the whole goal of it. Kind of trying to want to see if there's anything I missed. I wrote a bit of notes down because again, there's a lot of things to honestly talk about when it comes to putting a branded job streaming store, and that's kind of why also I make my Discord. It's totally free, link in the description. On yeah, any question you guys ask about that, let me know. But I kind of just want to show you guys that there's a lot of things that you have to learn, but it's not necessarily that it's hard. It's I guess simple, but in practice, it's kind of hard to kind of implement these shits for the most part. So we went over the bottleneck. We went over brand approach. We went over new customers versus returning customers. Slow growth. I mean, yeah, that's kind of it for this video, low key. We are going to do the rev check in a little while, but if you made it this far in the video, appreciate y'all niggas. Say the word motion if you fuck with the kid. It lets me know that you made it this far in the video. And again, I appreciate anybody that's made it far to this video, because sometimes I'm not gonna lie, I be yapping a bit, but my yap comes from a good spot. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to kind of instill to you guys lessons that I've learned, things in the past that fucked me up. Like, as you guys can see, I'm going through it right now a little bit. The business didn't necessarily have to, fall apart. Not necessarily fall apart, but be in a downwards period if we knew the things that I learned this year or learned in the last 3 months, 2 months, this month, whatever. And I'm just trying to tell you guys any lessons, wins or whatever that I learned, so you guys don't make the same mistakes as me. So again, having a Discord is free. I'm gonna make me do weekly calls in there, but we have a chat. Y'all can talk to me. I'm gonna drop, sauce in there, whatever different PDFs that I'm currently using, videos of what's working for me right now, and just currently just build a community of like-minded individuals that are, fucking with, just dropshipping and fucking with me as well. So again, tap in with that. And yeah, maybe let me just stop yapping and let y'all go, because this video is low-key long as shit. But yeah, let's get to the... I don't fuck with Shopify's new update, bro. It's just ugly as fuck. Today we are out. This nigga's Porsche's fresh, bro. Shit. But, fuck, this new update's so gay, bro. I might just... Alright, so we are at $100 today. Not the best, obviously. Obviously, we're in the trenches, but again, we are documenting business, so I'm showing you guys what it is. Yesterday, pretty shit. Day before was 800 though, as you guys can clearly see from the... What the hell? I don't understand this new update, bro. Some fights low-key be making shit updates lately. Yesterday, shit. Yeah, pretty shit. Other store, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just... Honestly, I'll probably say that for another video. I don't really want to talk about it right now, to be quite frank. Pretty trench. Today though, $30-some. Not bad. We're still testing VSLs on there. Hopefully we can get some to work. Get it up to like 1K a day. Documented for you guys. Show you guys what it looks like. Start a new store from scratch. Because again, I'm just trying to show you guys exactly what it looks like. Make it a case study in the Discord. But yesterday we had 37, basically same thing as yesterday. On again the second store the day before we had like $50. Like, we're spending $50 a day right now testing creatives. We haven't yet found a winner. We're still again testing concepts, different shit. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Yeah, talking about everything honestly. Not bad thumbnail, but yeah, appreciate you guys again for making this far in the video. Hopefully you guys gathered value. I hope I was spitting pause. I hope I was telling you guys. Hope it made sense, honestly. That's the main thing. And I'm happy for anybody that takes this knowledge takes action today and just starts running their business. That's honestly the goal at the end of the day. For anybody to see the stuff, to get motivated, kind of think on a bigger picture and just really work and just grind it out and just really grow. So that's why, again, I made the Discord. We're all literally, for the most part, in the same position, just trying to grow and build our businesses and just, you know, just make hella bread. So, yeah. Appreciate you guys for watching this video. Link in the description for the Discord. And catch y'all in the next one. And peace!